In this video, I will tell you 4 stories of Kapha dominant people. First one is about a man and a woman both wanting to put on weight approximately 8 or 9 kilograms. Skinny Kapha, what? Element which has natural accumulating tendencies, and listen to the advice they received from an Ayurvedic practitioner. He recommended vegetarian diet, food with dry consistency, and fasting. Wanna guess how it all turned out? It worked perfectly, and they did gain following his advice. How is this possible? From Ayurvedic standpoint, light vegetarian food and fasting is precisely what Kapha needs in order to work smooth. And if you don't give Kapha what it needs, it can either overperform in the form of obesity or other complications, or underperform, which in this case looked like unnatural slenderness. Second story deals with epilepsy. A man suffered from epilepsy for a long time, but one day the MRI scan showed that the lesion on his brain was gone. What did he do different? He followed an Ayurvedic recommendation for Kapha and, among other advice, started to indulge himself in black pepper, one of the best spices for Kapha, and his troubles disappeared. To explain epileptic seizure through Ayurveda, it is a combination of a Vata and Kapha element. Aggravated Kapha tends to slow down, and in extreme conditions it switches you off totally, which is the explanation of why people suddenly faint. At this very moment, Vata element comes in, trying to unblock and release this accumulated Kapha, which on the outside looks like fits of tremor, shaking or spasms. This is just a Vata emergency response. There are some helpful marma points in case of epileptic fits targeting brain directly, and you will find them here and here. Third story tells of several Kapha dominant people who complained of severe migraines and who have found a great relief from pain in beer. Don't get this wrong, I'm not saying Kapha people should start drinking heavily, and not just any beer, but the kind containing sagebrush. This herb is extremely bitter, which is the best taste for Kapha ever. So actually it was not about beer, but the bitterness in it. That's the essence. Fourth story tells us about a 2-year-old boy who still did not walk, was drooling excessively with constant runny nose, appeared slowed down, almost retarded. All excessive Kapha symptoms, but being Kapha is not a sickness, an Ayurvedic practitioner recommended caffeine. Great booster for Kapha even at this age. Now I don't remember if his mother refused or not, but 8 years later, a commercial doctor prescribed him caffeine pills. I wish I had records of how his mother had been feeding him back then regarding his Ayurvedic constitution, as she could have unknowingly caused his troubles by wrong diet. Let's analyze the 4 stories once again. We know that qualities of Kapha element are heavy, wet, cold, slow and dull. Anything possessing one of these harms Kapha. To keep it in shape, you must give it the opposite. In other words, light, dry, hot, sharp or other stimulant quality. First story and the unusual advice for fasting and light veggie food perfectly matches. Can you see? Then epilepsy and black pepper, sharp stimulant spice. Amazing. Third story, migraines and sagebrush, another stimulant herb. And the little boy with coffee, that's perfect. I'll tell you a simple rule. The 3 elements Vata, Pitta, Kapha do not have brain. They only respond to the stimuli you give them. Right stimuli means health, wrong stimuli means sickness. Namaste. If you are interested in a food manual for the Ayurvedic type from this story, or other type, or all types, please contact us by email. Each such manual divides food into the categories of vegetables, fruits, grains, legumes, dairy products, meat, herbs and spices, nuts and seeds, oils and fats, sweeteners, and food supplements. Within each of these categories, you will find suitable and not suitable items for a given type. Remember, in Ayurveda, suitability is always before the quality. At the end, there is a brief summary of the recommendations for this type. Thank you very much and Namaste.